We and our center put out a piece on January 20th and said this is going to spread worldwide. At the time, people said, no, it's just China. We put out a piece the first week of February and said this is going to pop probably the last week of February, first week of March. It is just beginning.
As you may already know, the UFC Brasilia card this weekend will be crowdless because of the coronavirus outbreak. The NBA and the NHL have decided to suspend their seasons respectively, which is probably a sign of things to come. There's a feeling in the air that this is just the tip of the iceberg. UFC Media Day has been cancelled. Everything has been confirmed by the UFC per Dana White. Of course, this is uncharted territory and no one really knows where we go from here as sports fans, but this is clearly bigger than the entertainment business. Khabib versus Tony might never happen, but to be honest, it might be the least of our concerns in a few days. Let's begin by looking at the UFC situation. So far, it's pretty obvious that UFC Columbus will be held behind closed doors. I'm actually told right now that the UFC card is expected to be moved to Las Vegas at UFC Apex. Other social gatherings have already been cancelled in Ohio. It is estimated that 1% of the population might be infected already. UFC London will most likely have the same fate, considering the outbreak. The Premier League has been suspended, which is a big deal. And if that is suspended, I don't see how UFC London can survive. And it might be even moved to Las Vegas. But so far, the situation there seems to be under control. Dana White has said that UFC London will have a crowd for now. But that might change very, very, very soon. UFC 249, Khabib versus Tony Ferguson is in Brooklyn. And it seems like there's no way there's going to be a crowd at that event. At this point, I don't think anybody cares if there's a crowd or not for that fight. We just want it to happen no matter what. And who knows if that will even be possible. That virus is a very alarming pandemic, especially because of how quickly the situation has evolved. The NBA went from Rudy Gobert joking around about the virus with mics to him contracting the virus and forcing their hiatus. It is now also confirmed that Donovan Mitchell has tested positive for the coronavirus, which is not surprising considering his Jazz teammate is Gobert. The surprising and alarming part is the fact that Mitchell presented no symptoms whatsoever. It makes us think, what's the number of people that have it and don't even know it? No one knows the extent of this pandemic, and extreme measures are now being taken by many countries around the world to slow the spread. This is for real. This is an exponential growth. The Chancellor of Germany has warned the population that 70% of people could contract the coronavirus. In Qatar, the outbreak is violent as the number of confirmed cases has multiplied by 10 in only one day. Many countries have had their first death related to the virus in the last few days, and Washington has just suspended flights from Europe to America for at least a month. For now, this doesn't include the UK, but that might change very, very soon. As of yesterday, only 0.1% of Italy's population had been tested. We know the virus can be transmitted through the air, and so far, even the most prepared countries, like South Korea, have tested less than 1% of their population. It's just inevitable. More countries are going to shut down. Apparently, South Korea has done an excellent job of controlling the spread, and they insist on social distancing. The death rate of around 1 to 3% might not seem alarming, but the real danger is the healthcare system. It is imperative that we're not all infected at the same time. After all, we have no idea how many people have it. We have no idea of what's going to happen next. We might not see normal sporting events for a very, very long time, but it's too early to tell. It's really exploding, and we just have to remember to be safe, even if that means postponing Khabib versus Tony 43 times. But I feel like Khabib versus Tony with 30 people in the crowd would be a historic scene, an iconic moment. What do you think? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the virus. Too soon.